Okay guys, so in this video we're gonna be talking about sessions, sorry. Where the previous videos were making the few previous videos, and I came across I spoke about session highs and lows where I want to see liquidity getting swept at. And after realized that, I said that, and I realized that we've not actually spoken about sessions, which um, I'm willing to talk about right now, because the way we are moving, we're already like getting really, really close um, to the end. I would say, I mean, not really the end, but I mean this whole putting you guys on game. We are really getting there. So we need to speak about sessions, and then we need to speak about other things as well. So sessions, I will make it brief. It's not gonna be a long video, but it's just gonna. I would like to. I will try my best to keep it simple, which is actually not really complex. So first, you should see it as three continents, which we have Europe as a continent. We have America as a continent, and then we have Asia as a continent. So those are the three dominant continent that we have that has impact in the market. We also have like Sydney, which is Australia, but Australia does not have that much impact in our case here. So we're just going to be talking about those three continents, and which comes to what. If we had Africa as part of the whole world leaders, we should definitely have Africa as a session as well. But which I think Africa, if we have to pick a country in Africa that will have an impact in this market, is definitely gonna be like maybe Lagos or South Africa. I don't know. I believe it might be Cape Town or somewhere like there about, because South Africa is actually a huge um, country. So let's talk about the three continents we have: Asia, Europe, and then US. Those are the ones that are dominant. So in Asia, we have Tokyo, that is really dominant. That is the one that is the Tokyo session. Then in Europe, we have London, which is UK, United Kingdom. And then in US, of course, is obvious New York session, which is US, United States of America. So those three sessions, they have their own role to play in the market. So which simply means what? Each sessions of those countries opens at a working time of those countries. For instance, what I mean by that is that wherever you are, you people actually go to office, or uh, um, um, institutions open around 8 9, stuff like that. So it's the same thing too. So every session we made mention, which are the three sessions, Tokyo, London, New York, they're all open around 8 in their own time zones. So each countries, we have different time zones in all around the world. So all of those sessions in their own time, in their respective time zones, they're all open around 8, and they all close around 5. That's one thing for sure. Same way when you're going to school, you guys go to school around 8 and then close 5. Office time, basically. That's simple as that. So now, since they all have different time zone, it might happen that some sessions are open and then the other one gets open inside, which simply makes sense. For instance, now a Asian session opens 8 in Asian time, then closes 5 Asian time, 5 p.m. So, but before 5 p.m. Asian session time, before it closes, Europe 8 is already there already. You understand? And Europe open 8, then closes 5 again. Then before 5 p.m. of Europe time, there is already New York session that opens 8 again inside. So you see that kind of internal. So those are the things that you're gonna be seeing here now. So let me delete this indicator quick, which is gonna be something that we're gonna be using. I'm talking about this because we're gonna be using it, and I deleted it and I will add it as fresh as the way you guys should be doing the same thing. So you come to indicator, you search for sessions, and then you use this one. Let me add it as my favorite, Lux Algo. Then you click on it, and then that's it. You have this now. So here you see that we have like the Tokyo I made mention, London, and then New York. You can see that the Tokyo is marked as this red line, or is it red? Yeah. And then before it closes at 5, there in Tokyo time, London gets to open inside, then London leads, and at some point Tokyo closed, and then London leads all the way to this level, and then you can see this the square box again. New York session open inside, then continued again. London is open, New York is still open. Then at some point London closed here, then New York lead again. You get, and then till this point now we get closed here, and then we still have this yellow one which is Sydney, which I said we're not gonna be using here. So these are the 3 sessions: session A New York, session London, C Tokyo, and then that's one. I just deleted Sydney because we're not gonna be needing this now. We don't know. We never gonna be using Sydney because Sydney is not part of the game. So as you can see here, you can see that new session of Tokyo just opened here, which is Asian session, which is, guess right now, if you check the time in Asian time, it should be around 8:39. So it opens 8, but you know, when you go to offices or institutions, when they open 8, usually sometimes people they take time to set up or to put their stuff down, you know. So the session that's why we have something that we call pre-market session now, and then 9:30, so for them to be able to set up well, and then we start having move. And then sometimes you can just it can happen that the session just open 8, and then there's already movement in the market, there's already volume. So what I was talking about is simply volume, because sometimes they're gonna open 8 and then there's no usually volume around that time. Maybe it's 8:30, maybe it's 9, maybe it's 9:30, or around 10, something like that. Sometimes they can just come again and open with volume, so depending on their mood, I guess, or what is happening in the world based on the economical calendar or stuff like that going on, that you all know already as fundamental. So that's how I want to see. So we already added this here. Particularly, I think you shouldn't change anything. The only thing I want you to be aware of is that here I have my time zone here already on New York session, which I actually forgot to tell you guys about when we're doing trading view setup. So you make sure you put this as your time zone, UTC -5, which is New York session. Personally, I have all my gadgets, everything on New York session. My phone, I've been New York time since I don't know how many years, maybe 7-8 years. Crazy how it sounds, but I've been using New York time motherfucking 8-10 years possibly, and that's just what it is, man. And I've been trading gold just maybe 3 to 4 years, maybe 3 years, and I've been trading some other stuff, but not really day trading, by the way. But those were the things that introduced me into the New York time zone and stuff like that. So yeah, let's just keep that for now. So this is the sessions. We need to talk about it because we said something about observing market sweeping session highs and lows to take trade off. As you can see, there is actually something very interesting here. Can't you notice that this is Tokyo, and this is the highest point of Tokyo, and here we also have London, and this is highest point of London. We also have New York, this is highest point of London. There is something very interesting here, which is these sessions all have same high, which is very, very interesting, and this is a good liquidity zone. Yeah, this is simple as that. I know that above this level there is a fucking huge buy side liquidity accumulated already at this level, and yeah, I'm not surprised, you know. Yeah, so we're gonna stick to lower time frame because when we get to move from lower time frame to higher time frame with this a session indicator, it gets to become very messy because, you know, it's just counting one session to another. But once we are moving to a higher time frame, we have multiple sessions together and it's no longer readable, you know. So we keep it simple. I'll use the 15 minutes and 12 minutes just to do this. So this is just what you just have to observe. For instance, now you want to know that during Tokyo session, We opened there, and then it went straight to take out New York high. This is why I want you to be on this, or to take into consideration. You see, Tokyo took out New York high here. The New York, Tokyo was open. London open. London retested New York, Tokyo high, then went down again. It didn't take out the low. Don't forget, taking out simply means sweeping the low. Sweeping the low where it's liquidity sweep, that's one. And then we also went back again. New York session open again, went back again to this, retesting this high again. So what we expecting here, either one thing, if I put this session here, I want to see liquidity sweep around this session, sweeping the 3 sessions high. And then if it gets this, if it sweeps this session high, I will be looking for shots down, and then when you want to target somewhere, you should be targeting where market is coming from. Probably maybe target one of this low, and that's one. Or next is that we get these highs get displaced, which is market took out this high, it displaced this high, and then retested it, and then we should be looking for continuation of buy upward. So that's it. So those are very, very key levels. So in this case here, we have this high here, and then if I'll be marking any low here, I'll be considering to mark this one, session highs and lows. Don't forget, that's what we're looking for here. And then this indicator helps us a lot to get it marked and get it done. Personally, I don't usually mark it anymore, but yeah, sometimes I do. I don't usually use the indicator rather, but sometimes I do. What I usually do is that I can actually spot myself the sessions without using indicators, just by with timing. You feel me? If I get to just mark the first one, I will just get to mark is New York session, which is 8. You can see the timing here, it aligns with my timing here below here, so here, and look down, is 8 a.m. If I mark 8 a.m., then I mark 5 p.m., 5 p.m. here, and then I mark Asian session opening at 7 p.m. and that's how I just get to mark 7 p.m. and then next I go to 4 a.m. 4 a.m. Yes, here is 4 a.m. Then I know that this is opening 2 a.m. I already know everything in advance from 2 a.m. then to here, back here to 11. I already know which time we're talking about. So let me explain what I'm saying here. So I just I hit the indicator. This is how I mark it without indicator. So first I'm gonna be going to, okay, let's say let me go to somewhere else quick, so it will not be as if I already saw it. There is no reason of cheating, So I'm looking for 8 a.m. So this is New York opening, and then the closure of New York should be 5 p.m. Okay, I think the time frame I'm using, 5 p.m. So we have New York, then we have Asian session that opened here. Then we have so that's it. Then you can see So my New York opened here, closed here, Tokyo opened here, closed. Tokyo, I forgot to put Tokyo closure. So Tokyo opened here, closed here, London opened here, closed here. It's 10. I think it's because of the. Oh! Sorry, guys. See? So many things I put here. I did multiple lines here, so okay. So we have here. Then I forgot to put the closure of the Tokyo, I guess. Oops. Ah, okay, that's sessions, maybe. That's from the session. So basically something like that, and then I already know the high of each session, and that's how I just do it. It's not as hard as that, but at the same time you can just use your. So I know that this is the highest point of New York in this particular 3 session day. So those three together, forget. Let me know. Let me to say this before I forget. Those 3 sessions together, they form a day. They form one daily candlestick. One daily candlestick. Those three together, and then New York closed here on 5. So this was the low of the New York session again. Lowest point it gets to. No, let me just do this. I'll mark it as a box. Similar as. So I'll keep New York there. Then I'll bring another box as. So this is New York opening here, closing 5. Then Asian session opening 6. This candlestick 30. So it's open. He opened here. No, so that's Sydney. So Asian session opened here. So here. Okay. Then we closed this here. And then I'll change the color later. Before Asian session closed, we have New York session that opened around 2 a.m. here. And 2 a.m. here. So 2 a.m. open inside here. And then we have this that close. It's like 11 kind of. So we're gonna be having this as maybe this, and then let me change the color here as to yellow as well. I don't know which color they use with that one. Well, let me steal their color quick. Yeah, it's blue. What did I mark home? Yeah, I'm correct, I guess. Ah, okay, the highest point of. So here we are still in the color. We have orange, red, blue. Okay, orange, yeah, red is okay. So there's something I did wrong here. This is the opening of yeah, it closed here. So it opened around 2 a.m. which was here, then closed around somewhere here. This is the highest point it closed at before we get to the C11. So this one we put it in blue. So usually I don't usually use the box. I just usually mark the high with my line, and so it's almost similar to this. Is I just did this thing manually, but a little bit with the help of the indicator. You can see the indicator is a little bit accurate, but if I was marking it with the lowest point and the highest point, I'll definitely be able to figure it out myself. And also one thing is that That's it. This is what basically what the indicator is doing. We did it manually again, ourselves. So and so on and so on. You can be able to just do the same thing again and again, and that's all. So I usually do it myself, and then, but I don't do it this way. Instead, we do it. This is how I do it. Rather, I kind of just mark my high here. This is the opening. Yeah, put a line there. Then this is a line there, and then we open here. If we open here, this is the lowest point here, 7 low, and then this is the highest point here. No, we close here. Low, high. Then we open here. We open here, so I push. This is the lowest point, and then this is the highest point. So you see, this is how I usually do it, and then I just know that my sessions highs are there, and it's pretty much how I do it. Now, how do we want to use Asian session highs and lows? We already know we want to observe the sweep around there. For instance, now this level here, I already just observed now this full are daily candlesticks, and we have all the highs at this level here. So what I want to see sweep around this level, and then we have the lows here. This is from Tuesday, and we have on the here. We have this low here. So have this low here. So this is, in this our case here, this is what we have in here, right? Simple as that. Highs, lows of sessions, and simple. You want to say sweep above to sell down, you want to say sweep here to buy back up to this level, or the sweep here to buy back up to this level, or if market feels it's gonna come down to this level. And again, don't forget that we had an analysis around here. Again, it's still valid, but this is just off session. I just want you guys to know. And that's just gonna be all for sessions. Nothing as huge as that. Those are sessions. Try to practice it, understand how sessions work, and then you should be able to trade with session. I don't know. I'm lagging, man. I'm tired. So guys, bye, peace.